Hello and welcome to the Online Academy of Irish Music. My name is Marie McTague, and in this lesson we are going to learn how to accompany Cronin's hornpipe in the key of G major, and this is in the time signature of 4/4. I will play the hornpipe for you first of all so you can hear what it sounds like, and then I will break up the accompaniment into the first part and the second part, and I will break it down so that it's easier to learn.
One, two, three, four.
Okay, so now I'll break up the accompaniment into how you would accompany the first part and how you would accompany the second part. So this is the first part of the tune. So I'm going to start off in the left hand with just one note, which is my G, and I'm going to play a chord in the right hand. And it's the inversion of the chord G, so instead of G, B, D, I'm playing B, D, G. And I'm going to play that just like that, and nice and bouncy, you don't hold on to the notes, okay? So keep them nice and light and bouncy. So from the G and the B, D, G, I will then move down to the D in the left hand and keep the same chord in the right hand, B, D, G. And I'm going to do that twice, so it will sound like this. Okay, I'll just play that again for you. So G in the left hand, B, D, G in the right hand, D in the left hand, B, D, G in the right hand, and repeat. Okay, so you play that twice and then the chord will change. So the next chord is the chord of C, okay? And so that's C in the left hand, and I'm using C, E, G, the root position of the chord, in the right hand. And we'll play that twice. Okay, and if I put all of that together for the first phrase, I should get this. And then we will move to the chord of D. Okay, so D in the left hand and D, F, A in the right hand. Okay, so that is the whole first line. We have G twice, then the chord of C twice, and then the chord of D. Now you'll notice there in the second of the Ds, instead of playing D in the bass note, I can also alternate that to an F sharp for variety. So instead of going D, D, F, A, D, D, F, A, I can go D, F sharp. And it's a nice way to bring you back into the chord of G when we're repeating the next phrase. Okay, so that first phrase, just one more time. And if you find the F sharp is awkward, you can still use the D. So you have the option of the D or the F sharp. Now the second phrase is back to the start again. It's the same as the first phrase. So you have your G and down to your D twice. And then C, C, E, G, and then just one D and finish on G. So that is the whole first part. Now I'll play the two phrases together. Now if you'd like to try that with me and the banjo together and practice along. First part.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Part starts on chord 5, which is the chord of D. And in the left hand I will play my D, and in the right hand I'm going to use the second inversion of the chord, which is A, D and F sharp. And it just has a more mellow sound. Now if you find this awkward, you can use your D, F sharp and A. Also note the fingering for the inversion. I'm using my thumb on my second finger and my fourth finger on the F sharp. So I'm going to play that twice and it will sound like this. Okay, and after that we're going to move into the minor chord, which is E minor. And again, E is the bass note. And in the right hand, I'm going to play an inversion of the chord of E minor using B, E and G. And my fingering there is the thumb, the middle finger and my little finger on the G. Okay, so those two chords together at the start of the second part. Okay, and we'll just do that again. So D first of all, E minor, and after that we're moving to the chord of C. So back to C in your bass and C, E, G in the right hand. And again, for the normal root position chords, I'm using my thumb, my middle finger and my little finger. And then to the chord of D again with the inversion, A, D, F sharp. Okay, so just to put all of that together, I'm going to play those chords. So the D, the E minor, the C and the D, and it will sound like this. An idea there to bring us back into the chord of G is something we did in the first part. Instead of repeating the D twice, you can use the F sharp. So instead of going D, D, we can change the second D to F sharp, and it just gives it a lovely sound moving into the tonic chord again. So I'd probably play D, F sharp, and then we're back to G. Okay. Now for the second part of the second part, I'm going to introduce something different here. We're going to actually put in a descending run in the bass, just for variety. Okay, so I'll play the run first of all so you can hear it, and then I'll break it down. So it's going to go like this. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm running down from G, F sharp, E, D to C. And this is a very useful descending run that we will find in many of the tunes. We'll be able to add this descending run in, and you'll see this throughout the course. It's very useful. And in fact, in some of the lessons, we'll be looking at an ascending run as well, just for extra variety. But for this one, I'm kind of doubling up my left hand as well. I'm using an octave. So I'm going from G to G. Now again, at the beginning, if you find this is too much, just stick to the one bass note and you can just go from G to your G chord. Okay, but you have the option of using an octave leap in the left hand and bringing the second G in with your chord in the right hand like this. Okay, so first of all, I'll do it without the octaves and keep it simple, and then I'll show you with the octaves. So with the basic one note in the left hand, going from G, B, D, G, F, A, D, F sharp, E, B, E, G, D, A, D, F sharp. So I'm going to do that again. G, B, D, G, F sharp, A, D, F sharp, E, B, E, G, D, A, D, F sharp. So that run without me talking sounds like this. And that will bring us down to the chord of C, which continues on the descending run. And C, E, G in the right hand, twice. Then D, A, D, F sharp, G. Okay, so from the descending run to the end of the tune, it sounds like this. Now for those of you who might want to add in the octave leap I was talking about, it will sound like this. But there's absolutely no need to add in the octave leap unless you want to for variety. It's perfectly fine with just one bass note in the left hand. So now we will try the left hand all together. I'll play it on my own first of all, and then I'll add in the tune so you can play along with the tune and myself. Okay, so from the start of the high part, it will sound like this, starting on the D chord. And now we will try it with the tune. So in this course, it's really important that you become familiar with the melodies. So take time to listen to the tunes and, get familiar with the melody in your ear. And that really helps when you go to accompany it, because you can really hear where the melody is going in your head, and it really does help. So I would advise you to take time and listen to the melodies just by themselves. And it's really important that you practice. On this website, there are so many different options you can use. So just become familiar with the website as well. You can go to the play along backing tracks. You can choose whatever speed you would like to practice at. And it's always a good idea to slow it down at the start. And then when you do become comfortable, I think it's a really good idea to try it at full speed. Because if you are playing with a live performer, you're more than likely going to be playing at a much faster speed. And also when you are practicing, just remember that you can choose to practice with the melody only. So there are different options on the website, and you can click just to undo the accompaniment that is there and practice along with the melody. And so you are providing the accompaniment and you're not listening to somebody else playing accompaniment at the same time. And that's really important. Also, in terms of practice, there will be PDFs available with each lesson. And on those PDFs, you will have the chord symbols. written above the staff notation. And with these chord symbols, in the course you will hopefully learn what that chord symbol means and how you can transfer that to your piano accompaniment. So you will be gaining that skill of reading chord symbols and applying that to your piano accompaniment. And going forward, this is a really important skill because many of our books of traditional Irish music use this format of chord symbols and just the melody notation. So it's really good if you can learn this skill and know what, for example, a G above the melody means. So you will know that what that means in the piano, that you're going to play your G in the left hand and your chord in the right hand, and you can apply the skills that you learn on this course to your piano accompaniment. Now, I hope you've enjoyed the first lesson in the Piano Accompaniments Basics course. And if you'd like to learn more about how to accompany Irish music on the piano, you can go over to the Online Academy of Irish Music, oaim.ie, and sign up for the course today.